Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 191. It's Friday. Friday. Not just that, it's the Friday before Mother's Day weekend, which for me is one of my favoriteest ever holidays. It means I'm not going to do dishes. There's probably going to be a yummy meal made for me. I get to love on my mom. I get to be loved on by my children and my husband. It's a good weekend. It also means flowers and mulch and time outside. So Mother's Day is a good weekend to be stepping into. So it's a very good Friday. It's rainy here in Cincinnati. It's dropped just a little bit, maybe in the 60s, but everything is brilliant green and really wet. So I'm not sure about the lawn mowing, but it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. So today we wrap up this week where the topic has been timelines, and when I was preparing for this recording, I always run through different titles in my meditation, like I'm sort of trying things on to see what feels right, and it's a feeling in my body of what feels like the word choice or the theme or the vibration that's going to be shared today. And what I kept coming back to is this word loving. And so I kept trying to put timelines at the end of it, like loving timelines. It's about timelines. And I kept getting a no. No. So here's what I feel. Here's the awareness I'm having. And then we'll just see where we go. Time is an illusion. People say this all the time. Let's count how many times I can say time in this podcast that is not about time. It's such a phrase that we hear and see repeated, and it definitely connects to the Marvel movie that I watched last weekend that I won't tell you anything about. Time is definitely a theme or a topic, and it's all relative, or our reality is always shifting based on our experience of time. And so we could perhaps say that everything that I shared this week is all bullshit. There's no validity to any of it because it's all an illusion, which could possibly be true. And also, I don't believe it's true. I still believe time is a way in which we function here on Earth, and it's a way to measure what is happening in the world around us, and a way to have moments that can be guiding us and then also help us have perspective. So I do believe time is real, but that's another philosophical conversation. What I kept coming back to is love. Love is real. Loving in the moment, loving right here and right now. That's what's real. And when we look at the theme from last week about choosing love or choosing fear, it's so easy, especially when we explore the idea of time, it's so easy to go into fear and access all of those collective phrases. There's not enough time. We're running out of time. It's the end of time. There are so many ways that fear can dictate how we are spending our time. A good one is I'm too late, or I missed it. I missed the opportunity. I missed the time. I missed the deadline. I'm too early. It's never happening. There are so many of these phrases. What guided me today when I was getting ready, I turned on a Wayne Dyer audio, and I'll put the link in the comments. It was all about the timing is perfect. The timing is perfect. And what he was describing in this short audio is his journey of going from needing to be noticed, needing to be seen, having his ego be fed when his first book came out, to the current place he was in when he recorded that session. And he was sharing, I don't want to be recognized. I want to move around the world and just be witnessing and listening and observing and loving. And, these are my words, not his. But he wanted to be obscure. And so he was connecting it back to books, messages that he had been studying, examples that he had been following. And he said, it's not about being noticed. It's not about, having stuff. It's about being present and listening and connecting to somebody, which to me is a way of sharing love. And when we're in that space, he said this, which I think is so beautiful. He said, the next time you're listening to somebody and they are telling you some things that you may or may not agree with, and in your mind you're just waiting for them to pause so that you can tell them what you've been thinking about the entire time they've been talking. He said, bite your tongue and then ask them, tell me more. Let them know they're being heard and actually listen to what they're saying. And I just thought that was such a beautiful example. And when we have this belief that there's not enough time, or we have to rush or get through things, or always have checklists, or we might be missing a timeline shift, we're impatient and we don't always have the ability to be fully present with someone. And the timeline, the most real moment of the timeline is right now. It's the exact conversation you find yourself in. The relationship that is right here next to you, in front of you, around you, that's what's real. Not the one that didn't work out, or the one you wish you had, or the one you're waiting for. What's here right now? If that's a relationship with an animal, absorb the beautiful consciousness they are bringing into your life. If it's a relationship with a friend or a sibling or a child, instead of the dream partner you had always wished would arrive, honor the beautiful love that sits right in your world. Love exactly where you are right now. And if you're in a relationship that is messy or complex, or isn't exactly what you thought it would be, in the moment that you first fell in love, honor where it is. Love right where it is. Because this moment that you are in, that you share with that individual, it's real. It's real. And if you choose love instead of choosing fear, you are always moving in the optimal timeline. Because that optimal way in which we experience time, the optimal way to experience it is in love. Through love, as love, being love. The timeline experience that is going to spiral us or take us into places perhaps we don't want to explore is when we choose fear. When we believe the doubt. When we spiral. It's fear-based. Love always is going to expand, and it is going to heal. And it may be painful as you're moving through that expansion or that healing. But if you're choosing love, love is always going to create more intimacy. If you choose to love your child when you're actually so afraid that they're screwing something up, but you lean in and you love them. You fiercely love them. Long term, you are building intimacy with that child. Even if they push you away and tell you to shut up or leave them alone or whatever they're wanting to say, it's the push-pull that is normal in the dynamic of a child and a parent. But that leaning in and loving them, eventually, always, it'll bring you closer. So as we move into this Mother's Day weekend, what I what I feel is be present in the timeline exactly where you are. What I'm focusing on for myself is loving exactly the relationship I have with my mother, with my children, with my partner, with my friends, exactly where it is right now. And when we do that, when we are loving all of it, we ultimately always are going to fall more in love with ourselves. It's just the way it is, because then we're not projecting our junk out at other people. We're just falling more in love with ourselves. That's the real, that's the most powerful experience of being present in this moment, in this timeline. It's loving right here, exactly as it is. Knowing by your choice to love, you're expanding, shifting the timeline, following the optimal timeline through love. So, one of the ideas or vibrations, feelings that I've been playing with this week is, the idea of loving our mothers exactly where we are in our relationship with them right now. And so I'm creating a package, a beautiful offering of love that I'll share on my Facebook page and on my website, called Loving Our Mothers. Loving our mothers exactly as it is. Honoring the timeline that is right now. Not the one we wish it had been. Not the one it could have become if only. The one it is right now. And when we are able to embrace or sink into that feeling of actually loving, fully loving our mothers in every drop of their beauty and imperfection, loving our mothers, we love ourselves more. Because we come from our mothers. There's no separation. I mean, there is, because you're born, but you come from your mother. And then we'll flow into Father's Day next month. I'm going to offer another package called Loving Our Fathers. And then we'll wrap it up at the end of June with Loving Our Inner Child. And I feel the potential healing that comes from this journey that we're going to be taking through meditation and energy healing together. So I invite you to look at that on my website as a gift for you to give to your mother, or for you to gift yourself to explore your own relationship to your mother. It's the most complex, beautiful, rich soul contract that we make is with our mothers. So as I wrap up this week talking about timelines and step into this Mother's Day weekend, I shower my mother with divine love for the beauty that she is in my journey. And I adore my children for picking me as their mama. Like, how lucky, how blessed am I? I wish you all a beautiful Mother's Day weekend. May you have rain and showers and green and beautiful flowers blooming, and so much love. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.